Pillar 5, the improvement of trauma care systems. We have in many countries very deficient trauma care systems. In some countries, no trauma care system at all. And there also we can do much to improve the response to crashes and save lives.
As an international rule, if you give first aid at the first 10 minutes of an accident, you can save life by more than 60 to 70%. So it's a matter of great concern.
We must try to save lives after an accident. A lot of people bleed to death on the road. A lot of people become permanently disabled because aid is not given on time. And that's how we put these structures every 30 kilometers, which means from one traffic aid center, no site of accident is more than 15 kilometers away. And so generally in 5 to 7 minutes, assistance is reaching after an accident. The crane is reaching there, the ambulance is reaching there, first aid is provided, the accidented vehicle is shifted to a side, and that has saved a lot of lives.
Road traffic accident is a forgotten epidemic in this region and this country in particular, because it does account, as we said, for 65% of those who are injured. And we have spent a lot of time in the developing world on the infectious diseases. We have improved it to some level, but if we continue to just concentrate on the infectious disease side, then we may be losing the battle in the end, because we shall bring forth healthy children by improving their infant mortality rate and childhood diseases, only to lose them to road traffic accident.
The road that we are at is a road that is linking Kenya and Uganda. At the spot where we are, it is where we get a lot of calls for accidents here. St. John Ambulance was able to put up a facility for training the community members, just like the ones who are behind me. They are always here to respond to the emergencies. The headquarters where our ambulances are is 10 kilometers away. If an accident has happened here, the community persons whom we have trained will be the first ones to respond. We all know that the first response that is given to the accident victim is so important for the person to survive the next days until he gets advanced care.
If the injury occurs in a remote area, if the paramedics in that region are not there on time, if the doctors are not well trained, if the hospital is full, people are dying, people that could have been saved by this kind of technology, which we do have. The Skinner technology is there. It's just that not enough. Those resources in this part of the world are finite. There's a cap. There's only so much.
Our backlog of road traffic accident victims is really enormous. In a district hospital, a surgical ward, about 80% of those who are in those wards are due to road traffic accident. At the highest hospital, which is a teaching hospital, like Kenyatta National Hospital, they receive about 15 new road traffic accident victims per day. Yet they are only able to operate on 3 or 4 cases in the course of the week. This is because of the operation time is limited. There are fewer operating rooms. There is lack of the equipment to do this. So in the long run, we get accumulation of workloads. At the National Spinal Injury Hospital, we are a 30-bed hospital, but our waiting list is about 65, 70 patients waiting outside there. Majority of these will not make it here because as they wait at the district hospital, they get complications. And maybe just 1/3 of them will make it here.
When it comes to accessible transportation, public transportation does not at all cater for people with disabilities. So you end up finding if you have no personal vehicle, there's no way you can get into buses or matatus, and that is not being factored into government transport. And when it comes to support in terms of financial support, people who have been injured with road crashes have a day-to-day expense that they have to deal with. When it comes to physiotherapy, that is something that you end up dealing with for the rest of your life. There's medication, there's going to hospitals, and there's no support that or a place people can go to get that kind of support.
As doctors, the road traffic injury patterns are overwhelming us in our hospital with patients of injury and trauma. Most of the victims here are from lower socioeconomic classes. They're pedestrians. Often their needs and their aspirations are overlooked, even by the policymakers. And we are seeing it right now here in India, wherein more than 100,000 deaths and more than 400,000 seriously injured patients happen every year. And still, the funding for trauma research or injury prevention research is just a fraction of what is given to heart diseases or cancer. And therefore, that highlights the need of more funding and more research into the field of injury prevention and trauma.
We need policymakers, both those in government and those in influential positions in non-governmental organizations, right top from WHO, to really take this as a serious issue, because if they show the leadership in this, then we will be able to change this. It's a bigger problem that no single individual will be able to change. So it's a collective responsibility to see that if we are able to offer the right services right from the roadside to the rehabilitation stage, then we can have productive members of society.